Hey guys, let's take a look at lesson 84. After today, we are 70% finished with your book, or almost half, I think that is. So, all right. Today's lesson is important. We briefly talked about order of operations before, basically about how mathematicians around the world need to be able to work together and to know, which operations they're doing first, which ones are doing second, and so on, to have some kind of a standardization. Okay, let's review. Order of operations are: number one, do the parentheses. Do everything in parentheses first. Second, multiply and divide left to right. Third, add and subtract left to right. Now, if you need to write this down again, then write it down, all right? And make sure your notebook has that 84 on the top right, so you know what lesson and notes you're doing this for. So make sure, okay? Very important you get this down, because if you don't, you can do something and get a completely different answer with the same answers and operational figures as you would somebody else who is doing the order of operations correctly. Okay, so let's do a couple of these, all right? Simplify. So go ahead and pause this and write this down. Okay, now if you were just to go left to right, you would get 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 2 is 18. 18 times 6 is 108. That's not the correct order of operations, though. This is your correct order of operations. You multiply first, all right? So 2 times 8 is 16. You're going to add 2 times 6, which is 12. That is 28. That ain't the same thing as 108. Okay, so this is why people all across the world do order of operations the same way. Mathematicians and chemists and other scientists and things like that, so we can get the same answers and not go, hey, here's my formula, and then over France somebody goes, look at this, I had too much dynamite or whatever. Okay, all right, look at another one here. Do it, pause it, and copy this down. Okay, now this looks horrible, doesn't it? But we can look at this and go, okay, which one do we do first? We do this one first, dividing it and multiplying left to right. And we have to do this and treat this as one thing right there. Okay? You there? Okay. So now we have 0.5. I'm just going to forget the 0. Plus, what is 0.5 divided by 0.5? Obviously, it's just 1, right? Anything divided by itself is 1. Minus 0.5 times 0.5 would be 0.25. Okay. Now that we have a bunch of addition and subtraction, we can do this in any order we want. Let's just go left to right. So 0.5 plus 1 is 1.5. 1.5 minus 0.25 is just 1.25. There we go. That's all there is to it. Okay. All right. That makes sense? Okay. That is order of operations. Let's do one more. If you have a bunch of numbers in parentheses, they go first. Okay? They go first. All right? So let's do that first. We have this part, which will give us, I'm just going to rewrite the parentheses, 14. Okay? And we know that when we see parentheses, like two numbers like this next to each other with parentheses, that's the same thing as saying to multiply. All right? So we have 2 times 14, which is 28. There we go. That's order of operations part 2. Okay. All right. Let's pause it and try your practice problems. There are 5 of those. So pause it, give that a whirl, and come back when you're ready. Okay, you should have 5 plus 25 minus 1. That's the first part. In other words, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So then we go left to right. That's going to be 5 plus 25, 30 minus 1, 29. Okay, you should have not just gone left to right. You look at the order of operations. If you want to, you can go ahead. Well, I would suggest doing something like this, like kind of like making a little, something like this to kind of separate it for yourself to see. Do this first, then do this, then do that. I do that every single time if I needed to. Okay, all right, let's try B. B will be 20 plus 12, which is 32. That's how you're going to do B. Okay, 5 plus 20. Oh, not quite. Divided by 2, boom, there we go. Okay. Wait a second, I just did C. That was my bad. Okay, yeah, it's 20 plus 12. All right, try C. This is what you should look like for C, all right? 5 plus 12 divided by 2 minus 1 is the same thing as 5 plus 6 minus 1, 11 minus 1 is 10. Okay. D, pause it, give that a whirl. Okay, well 32 plus 36 is what you have. That's going to be 68. All right, last one is E. Give that a whirl. Okay, there we go. 3 plus 3 times 3 minus 3 divided by 3 equals 3 plus 9, 12, minus 1 is 11. There we go. Order of operations. Okay, make sure you're getting all these right. Okay, really get order of operations down because you use it a ton the rest of this year. Algebra 1/2, pre-algebra, algebra 1, algebra 2, all that kind of stuff. You want to. This is one of those little skills you want to kind of like knock out of the way, so you don't by practicing, so you don't have to worry about it anymore in algebra 1 or algebra 2, anything like that. So, all right, have a great day of math. See ya.